We have our Gage Goulding, who was able to leave the building tonight, and he's driving slowly to assess the situation. He's in South Fort Myers right now. He's on Gladiolas in US 41, I believe, but can we go to Gage Goulding? He's not driving, but he is driving around with a crew assessing the situation. What are you seeing, Gage?
Right now, we are seeing a lot of, actually, my live truck just kind of had to pull out of the way. Let me turn this camera around. You can see this, a lot of kind of flooded water over here. I'm going to walk up this way a little bit. We're safe. You know, we're walking on dry ground right now. This is on Summerlin Road at Gladiolas. So this is kind of nearing Golisano's Children's Hospital. It's about the only bit of light you can see. My finger here, I'm kind of pointing it over here. It's the only little bit of light you can see on the other side of our live truck right there. But this is the road right here, okay? So if you're familiar with the area, there's this, where these blinking lights are, there's a big kind of overpass ramp if you're coming off Gladiolas. That's the only elevated area that we're seeing right now. The rest of this, well, you can't see much because it's all still underwater from this intense amount of storm surge, and you can hear some of that wind still gusting in the background. Kind of let the, you can just hear Mother Nature still at work here. We're still seeing, I want to reiterate, we are safe. We're not in the water. There is a clear lane right here that we can walk in, that we can also drive in safely. Not advising that anybody do this unless it's absolutely necessary, because most roads do appear to be just like this. With standing water, and it's a dark, murky color. You have no idea what might be behind there. In addition to that, many roads look like this, covered in all kind of debris. We actually attempted to move, and we did move many branches out of side streets and even main streets to kind of just clear away for ourselves, but also those other motorists that are coming behind us to kind of make their way through here. So obviously not advised at all to be out on the roads right now. Many roads, as you kind of make your way out towards the west part of Fort Myers, out towards Fort Myers Beach area, out towards those kind of outlying areas. If you're familiar with the Summerlin Road, kind of taking that out, this is what you're going to run into. You know, these roads are crowned for a reason, to kind of divert the water during our regular rainstorms during the summer. But unfortunately, during times like this, it kind of floods. And like I said, just for safety factors, safety is paramount right here. I can't even see the center. I actually can see a little bit of the center line right there, but I can't see what's in there. There's big light poles that are out. You're not sure ever what's in this water or what could be behind there, if it's, you know, electricity or anything like that. But these road conditions are not ideal whatsoever. You can see some people here taking refuge with their vehicles, whether they were trying to drive or were trying to move at some point, because it appears this road was entirely underwater at some point during the day.
Hey, Gage.
But
Gage,
it looks like the water is possibly receding. Gage,
can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Are you seeing any kind of emergency vehicles out there yet at this point? And, you know, first responders or police, or, you know, we know a curfew's in place, but are emergency responders able to get out there?
That is a great question, Kelly. Thank you so much for asking that. The camera won't be able to see it because it's so far down. Let me walk around. Maybe I can. There are emergency responders. It's down at the intersection where Summerlin meets Golisano's Children's Hospital. I believe that's Bass Road. Don't quote me on it. I live in the area, so I should know that. But I believe that's Bass Road. And we do see multiple red and blue flashing lights. Not sure who's out there or what they are doing. Not sure if the road is flooded or passable up that way. But we do see some emergency vehicles out that way. Now, out on the streets, Kelly, I'll be honest with you, it is myself and my photographer, Paul Cost, out here. There are not many people out on the streets at all, and that is a good thing. Good job, Southwest Florida, because we're adhering to what the officials are telling us. As for think we saw 2 or 3 LCSO vehicles, Lee County Sheriff's Office vehicles, out on the streets with their lights activated, driving around. But unfortunately, the people that we did see out here, you know, kind of had their big lights on, you know, like big kind of light bars, that kind of stuff, looking around as well. So it seems to be there are some people that are kind of out looking around, but we can't stress enough, Kelly, let us be your eyes and ears so we can do it safely, we can do it responsibly, and it just doesn't clog up the roadways, because there is still a lot of work to be done in many of these roadways just to get to where we are. There was a lot of navigating. Felt like Magellan trying to find our way to a new world out here, because there's so many roads that you just simply cannot pass. It's just impossible.
Did you see any down power lines? We know they're out there, but in the specific route that you took, and I know you nor your photographer would drive over power lines or anything like that, but did you have to maneuver around them, go down a different road, anything like that?
Peter, that is a terrific question, and the answer to that is yes. And my photographer Paul and I, we were driving down one road in the Pine Manor area, and we saw the down power lines ahead. We were using our spotlight, you know, we kind of had a system down. You know, we were both scanning. We, you know, 2 sets of eyes, 4 eyeballs scanning the roadway in front of us, and whenever we saw power lines ahead, one of us would say, line, line, line. That way we would stop the vehicle. We were only going 5 or so miles an hour, but we'd stop the vehicle safely and use our spotlight to kind of shine it in the sky. But there was a very, you know, kind of scary moment where we both sat in the car because a truck went past us and drove over a set of downed power lines, which was, you don't want to do that ever. You never know if those are energized. You never know if there's energy going through those. The truck made it through, but man, I mean, I'll be honest with you, Peter, I was kind of clenched in my seat. But yes, there are many down power lines. There are many down trees. There are many traffic signals. The traffic lights that are hanging by a thread. It's honestly impressive. It just shows you how strong the storm was. It's every intersection. We saw one intersection the whole way from where our station is in Fort Myers to where we are now. Only one intersection. The lights were working. That's it. Everything else was downed power lines.
And from experience from driving home and driving the day after Hurricane Irma, it was days until the stoplights were put back in place. So intersections were dangerous. When people start to drive tomorrow, they need to be aware of that almost every red light is going to be hanging on a thread if it's there at all. So you have to, when you get up to an intersection, you have to stop, you have to look for traffic. You cannot just keep going anymore. It's a whole different ballgame driving for the next couple of days.
Treat it like a 4-way stop sign. Don't go on the roads ideally, but if you do go out, if you have to go out for some reason, you have to treat every intersection like a 4-way stop sign until they get lights back up and things start to feel any sort of normal. All right, Gage, thank you very much for.
Peter, this is if we have an extra moment here, I just
go ahead.
This is exactly what we want people to do. We have a vehicle that is coming through the flooded street. You can see the water ripples right in front of me, and they are coming down flooded Summerlin Road. And this is a prime example of how you can get stuck. These emergency responders, we already know, we've been saying it for how long now, that they are overloaded. They have a call backup like no other. And this is a prime example of this vehicle now stopped on the shoulder of Summerlin Road, likely not able to proceed. This is exactly what, the emergency responders don't need. Don't put yourself in harm's way, and certainly don't put any of the emergency responders in harm's way. That's I'm sorry, I know I'm taking up a lot of time here. I know there's a lot of important things to get through, but that's a very important thing to see. That's a prime example of what nobody wants to see, nobody wants to go through.
All right, Gage, thank you very much. Stay safe out there and let us know if you come across anything else in the next hour or so.